Okay, let's see if that works. Should be live. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good weekend. I'm just getting the word out, letting people know that I'm streaming, and then we'll get started here. Hope that you guys have been having a good weekend. I've had a good one. Hopefully, you got some painting in. I was able to do some painting yesterday, and I had a really good time. And I can show you what I painted later if you want to see. Today, I think we're just going to choose someone that's on my desk and get them painted up and see how that goes. Because that should be fun. That should be a good time. I've got I'm at no shortage of interesting little guys to paint. It's never been a problem for me. So yeah, it should go well. And we'll just paint up something together and have a nice little time. I usually don't stream on Sundays, so this is a new day as well. So we'll see if we get some new folks. All folks are already joining us. Hello to Josh. Hello to Roz. I hope you're both doing well. Just posting in a few servers, letting them know that I am live. And we're gonna get started. I'm making a strange choice and giving chat some control over what I paint that I'm sure they're gonna quickly abuse and not at all do what I ask of them, because that is simply how chat behaves. But today I'm giving you a choice. I'm letting you have some small amount of control. I have 3 beautiful candidates of things that I can paint here. We have, if the camera wants to focus, we have the neighbor mini. This is a Trent miscast miniature. Oh, that still has some flash that I didn't pick off. No one saw that. That we can paint. Then we've got from Tanner Simpson this little bottle man that we can paint. And then I do have my own miniature. I have a worm. And over here I've got a bat to ride on him that we can paint. So these are going to be our 3 options. We got the neighbor, the bottle, and the worm. Oh, hello. There's more of you. Hi. Hello. Hi, Cameron. Hi, Dan Random 9005. Hello. Okay, I said I was gonna make a poll, and then everybody just immediately started saying what they wanted in the chat. So I'm gonna make a poll so that you can vote, so that I don't have to track your random choices that you shout at me. I interpret it as shouting, even though you're just typing. I didn't make the poll fast enough? Okay, I'm sorry. Hang on. We've got neighbor. That says naybot. That's not what we want. We've got bottle. And then we've got worm. All right. There's your poll. Vote in it. And that will determine things. But I'm glad that you're here, despite me yelling at you, chat. So thank you. Let me show you what I've painted myself while you're voting. I finished this Trench Crusade Warwolf the other day. I think he painted up rather nicely. I've used the very last of my good strawberry sauce on him. I had to start scraping it out of the bottle. So I really need to get more, but it's so expensive to get the good Tamiya stuff shipped over. I want it though, and I probably will end up shelling out for it. So I painted him, and then I also finished up. I just have to base this dinosaur guy. I just have to put the frosting on the base, but I added highlights, so we're happy about that. And then I started on this incredible little face sculpt from Goobengits that I haven't quite finished up. He needs some highlighting and some cleanup, but I'm not going to do that on stream because I don't have the focus to do that on stream. Thank you. I'm glad you like him. Ooh, you're painting the troll tank? Hell yeah. Okay, so it's definitely between neighbor and bottle. That's cool. Okay. And we've got 5 votes, which is a good number. So I'll end the poll, which means that neighbor won. So we're gonna paint him up. Are you happy, chat? I gave you a modicum of control over what happens. Oh my gosh, Allison! Lovely to see you. Thank you. If y'all don't know Allison Silverhair, you might have seen her at Adepticon. In that crazy freaking Slanesh character cosplay with the giant fucking evil harp thing. I'm sure there's a proper name for all that shit, but anyone would know what I'm talking about based on that description. Uh, but Allison and I hang out in Twitch chats with other streamers that we like. I don't stream on Twitch because I don't want to give Mr. Amazon any of my money. Which I don't think giving it to Mr. YouTube is better, but I chose a really stupid hill to die on, and I won't back out of it now. So I get to regret that choice forever. Um, okay, so this is a beautiful miniature that we got. And his cape is kind of shaped like it could be a jelly or a bunt cake. So we can definitely roll with that. And that's gonna be exciting for us. I'm trying not to just paint his face like a chocolate brown, but that's what's speaking most to my soul. Um and I don't know if I'll reject that or embrace it. But we'll get painting this guy up and see how far we get. Fruit leather cake. Mm. Nobody did vote worm. My worm guy is popular, but he's not popular enough to carry a vote in this chat. Which is fair. I mean, you guys have seen a lot of the worm. You've seen him often. And when I give you something new and exciting, I can't blame you for gravitating towards it. I'm pretty sure this is... Okay, yeah. This is the yellow that I use for everything all of the time. And I'll start by base coating his cape, because at least I know what I want to do there. He's a real cutie. I love this model. It was sold in like a set with another model. And I didn't want the other model. I only wanted this guy. And in the Smash Bash booth, they had blister packs that just had this model in it. And I tried to buy one of them. And they were like, no, that's actually display only. And I was like, that's really weird. So I bought the pack with both of them in it. And then at the bits trading night, I was able to sell the other guy for half of the cost of both of them. So in the end, I could just get the one I wanted. That's that'll forever be a problem for me, I think, is just that I only want certain miniatures. and they're only sold in sets. So I can end up buying sets and then having miniatures that I'll never paint. I'm trying to do less and less in that. I'm very much trying to purchase miniatures that I will actually sit down and paint like within a reasonable time after purchasing them, cuz the amount of miniatures that I have is out of control. And I keep buying more, so it's not good. But I have been finishing projects. That werewolf and those dinosaurs sat on my desk for ages. I've got all of this little army of all sorts that I've been working on for a while. Um, we're going along. I finished this guy up, and then this guy is coming along. So I only have a few of them left to do, but they've been on my desk for an unreasonable amount of time. But today I thought, let's just have fun. I was also really tempted to build a Gundam today. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a teddy bear Gundam that I want to build. And I almost built him today instead of doing this. So that's kind of funny as well. But ever since cleaning my hobby room, I've been trying really hard to keep it clean because I feel motivated every time that I step into the hobby room to want to do a project. So we're sticking with that. There's a cat hair on this mini, of course there is. What about Chicken Night Gnome? I don't own that one. That Rogue Hobbies mini just came out, so I don't have him. Sorry. I'm not that much of an influencer that I'm getting stock ahead of time for cool companies like Rogue Hobbies. But who knows? Maybe that'll all change in the future. You never know. Bottleman is funky in a soulful way. Hello, Dust Bunny at Skull Moon. You can only be here for a short time? That's fine. We're all only here for a short time. Let's make it a good time. You know, this stream, it'll last between an hour and a half and 2 hours, as it usually does. So that's not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things anyway. Dan, that sounds like a great solution to getting things painted quickly. To just be like, oh, well, it's the lore that they're painted just sprayed with blood. I mean, that's basically World Eaters in a sense. I love World Eaters though. They are my favorite of the of all the Space Marines. If I had to pick, they're the one I like best. Yeah, okay, this is good. We've got this going. Now, I think it's really funny that I've happened to choose yellow for this one just by pure coincidence of seeing a shape in here. Because I have another Trent miniature that I painted to kind of look like his cape was a banana peel. And I'm pretty sure I used uh this same yellow for it. He's got this like kind of like layered, I don't know, inner coat thing. Whatever he's wearing here, it's got layers, so I can do that like layers of cake, I think. So I could have like if we're going for like a strawberry shortcake look, which I think we are. I can have like a yellow one and then a white one and then a red one for a strawberry. So it'll be white, red, yellow. Every third one will be a cake layer here. And we'll see how that looks. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to deviate too much from my typical palette and my typical ideas for these. I don't see any reason to. I've thought about doing that before, but then I just get more enjoyment out of painting what I like. So I've decided I'm just gonna keep doing that. I'm just gonna pursue that as a goal. Do I think I'll ever release a little guy with a bubblegum helmet? Probably not. Um, the reason helmets would be tricky is that like for a bubble it's see-through, it's transparent. Um, and that would be really hard to capture in a sculpt where you can't just add see-throughness to it. Like as much as I really really want a little gumball guy, like a gumball machine guy, I can't just draw one and have him sculpted because his gumball face would have to be hollow and then filled with gumballs. And there's no really good way to capture that I've found in a 3D sculpt. So that is unlikely. That would be way easier to kit bash by just buying a like a dollhouse gumball machine or using a bead or something like that. Cuz you can paint on like a gumball machine look to it. If you paint it like, you know, like a light blue to be the glass and then paint little gumballs in there, you could get that, you know, to resemble it, but you're never going to get that transparency. So that's probably one that I won't attempt. I don't see that being one that's going to be worth the time and fiddling that it would take to make something that might look halfway decent. Uh, but if you want like a gumball machine guy, Tanner Simpson actually made one for his game Wanted Reward. And he told me that he just acquired a gumball machine for like a dollhouse gumball machine from Hobby Lobby. And he made that into a little guy. He did not say whether he paid money for that gumball machine or not. He just acquired it from Hobby Lobby. That's all that I know. Have I considered just getting like Archon Studios to make my gumball characters? Yeah, let me just call them up. That'll be so easy, Josh. Let me just get them on the phone. Yeah, my models are usually just digital files that you can print. But some of them you can buy physically too. Ramshackle Games sells some of them. And Curtis is really cool and wanted to cast my miniatures after I asked if he would be interested. Um, so you should definitely support Curtis because he's cool and he took a chance on me. And we're working on getting more casts potentially. Um, much to be discussed in that space and much that I just haven't followed up on since Adepticon. I need to make a list of all the stuff that I need to follow up on since Adepticon. But there's a lot of exciting stuff that is happening. I promise. Whether you see it now or you see it further down the line is unfortunately just the slow turning wheel of the logistical nightmare that is making stuff. But like that is the hard work that is worth doing. Um because objectively none of this is necessary. Like you can play a game with pieces of paper and cardboard and it doesn't make any difference in how the rules of the game function. There's no reason that you need for the mechanic aspect of it. You don't need things to look interesting or nice or be miniatures, but we like it. We like when things look cute. We like when they have effort put in. We like when our games look thematic. We like our little guys and we like painting them. So that means all of the slow, hard work is worth it. I unfortunately see more and more that like you find out that creators and stuff, some of them have been using AI for stuff, and it's just like, man, I'm not gonna do that. Snack 28 has zero AI used at any time, and there are definitely portions where I can see that if I had been raised in a world with AI from the start, I would have just used it. Like, you could have had AI playtest stuff. You could have had AI do the layout and the spell checking and write some of the monster stats and rules. And then but it's like, what's the point at that point? Um like I just don't get it. All of the stuff that I was hesitant to do, like playtesting is scary for me. I hate handing people the rules of my game and going, "Okay, I think this works and is understandable. Can you please try it now? We're going to change that eye color cuz it's too scary. Can you please try it now and let me know if it works?" Like, that's horrifying. I hate doing it because inevitably there's something that you thought in your mind that would work that you haven't communicated well on paper, and things have to change and be adjusted, and all of making all of those changes is not fun. um it's scary. It's a lot of admitting that you were wrong or that stuff that you did doesn't work in practicality, and that's shitty. It's never fun. Um but it's very rewarding to get right. It's great when you actually have written something that is fun or play test something after like the second or third iteration and it works and you're like, finally the thing that I wanted it to do is happening now. That's a good feeling. Oh, that's a good feeling. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Stuff's gonna take a while, but like, at least you know that someone cared enough to put that time in. A lot of the stuff that I want to do for Snack, it might take years, but uh, you're gonna know that I was working, doing little things to push it along for all of the time that I had, all of the passion and time that I can put into this game. I will. I really think that it's good, and I like making miniatures for it, and I keep buying miniatures to paint for it, even though I have like enough snack teams that like 8 people could be playing simultaneously, and I don't even have the boards and terrain for that. So like, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep chugging along on this weird little snack train. And I'm glad you're all on board. Cardboard themed armies. Have I tried sculpting a miniature by hand? No, I have not personally tried that. I've dabbled in a little bit of attempts with green stuff sculpting in the past. And they haven't ended particularly well for me. I'm not a great sculptor, and that used to really get to me. But we are in a time where people kind of are looking a little bit more affectionately at stuff that's kind of shitty and kind of bad, but was clearly made by a human. So maybe I'll give it another try. I don't know if it'll be anytime soon, though. I do have quite a lot of other miniatures to paint. Um, and I'm very happy with the sculptor that I currently work with to make all of the Snack 28 miniatures. Mageworks is very, very talented, and He's very fun to work with because he enjoys the challenge of sculpting stuff that he hasn't sculpted before. So anytime there's like a new texture added to one of the Snack 28 miniatures, instead of being intimidated by it, he's excited to give it a try. And that's just like a great energy to have in someone that you collaborate with, that they're excited for the challenge of your ideas. Because I tend to be more intimidated when something is challenging. I'm learning to kind of set that aside and embrace the challenges more because I've been doing well at overcoming them. But honestly, sometimes shit in my personal life and the stuff I have to do for my day job is already challenging, and then doing challenging stuff for a hobby seems like too much. But it's really been paying off in terms of my hobby stuff. So I'm trying to be more at peace with attempting challenging hobby projects in the future. We'll see where it goes. Does Snack 28 use artificial sugar? We do. Artificial sweetener has been used. When I say cast, it's resin. Ramshackle Games is casting my miniatures in resin. Um, there was thoughts to do a metal run of Snack 28 miniatures with Andrew Meridian from Meridian Miniatures. And he and I had talked about doing it. But around the time that the whole and now I'm not going to allow this chat to descend into madness. I have my own opinions on AI. It's bad and you shouldn't use it. And I think we can all make that clear and have that known. So just keep that in mind, that that is my opinion. Um and we're not here to shit talk people like other content creators, because that's not something I allow in my Discord, and that's certainly not something I'm starting in my chat. So chat, you've been warned. Be reasonable. Don't say anything wild, and let's just all have this polite little discourse together. Because I really don't want to have to be ending stream because y'all can't behave on a Sunday. Uh, this is where we're all gonna be mature adults, or whatever age we are. We're gonna have a coherent adult level of maturity to us. Um, but around the time that Midwinter Minis tried to do its whole, hey, we're gonna have a AI teach you how to play Warhammer thing, um, Andrew Meridian, and I can't say whether or not he was motivated by that, but I think it was a moment in time that a lot of people realized they may not have been as in touch with their audience and what they wanted and expected as they thought they were. So Andrew decided to check in with his patrons through a poll and see if they were okay with digital sculpts being cast in metal. Um, and the Snack 28 miniatures would have been the first digital sculpts that he would have cast. But his audience was not in favor of that. They were very, very much like, no, we come here for hand sculpted miniatures to be cast by you. So they were not in favor of that, like very, very aggressively, which was not what he had expected. But he let me know that. And then we did talk a little bit about potentially like hiring a hand sculptor to resculpt some of the miniatures. But it just through further discussion, some of them would have had to be cast in resin anyway. And at that point, I knew that Ramshackle Games was already doing resin casting for me. And while no hard feelings to him whatsoever, uh, Andrew Meridian is fantastic, and we just had discussions like, you know, proper, respectful artists of each other's work. But there was no big reason for me to pivot from who I already had doing casting to another, especially another like UK based caster, because it's not like that would have been able to bring down prices for the US market in terms of shipping or anything like that. Um so unfortunately, just because Andrew Meridian's audience really wants to keep with hand sculpted miniatures, that is, we're not moving forward with casting with him at this time. I still am looking into possibilities for doing metal Snack 28 miniatures at some point, because I think it would be really cool. But this one didn't work out, and that's fine. Frankly, I have a lot of other opportunities to pursue. I'm not bent out of shape about this. Not nearly as much as I could be if this had been like the only chance to get my miniatures out to the people. Um Snack 28 is not brought to you by Splenda. If I get rich, would I ever hire masons to make a ceramic all sorts? Probably not. I do have like a giant 3D printed one, and if I got really rich, like I guess it would depend on how rich we were talking. But if I got rich to the point where I can spend stupid money on stuff, it would definitely be something more in like the um like amusement park sort of zone. Like if I could have one of those little like carousels that you see outside of Walmart, those little like coin operated ones. But it was just with Snack 28 characters. That's probably what I'd spend my money on. Um like all sorts and stuff could be on there. I've really loved carousels ever since I was tiny, because growing up there was one that we would occasionally go to that was like this beautiful restored Philadelphia Toboggan Company hand carved wooden carousel, like no fiberglass casts of the horses, and just absolutely gorgeous. I don't live anywhere near there, but I used to live about like 30-45 minutes outside of Washington D.C. So Glen Echo Park in that area has this absolutely gorgeous carousel. If any of you live in that area, you should totally make the drive and go see it. It's beautiful. It's still functional. You can still ride it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Um, but I think that just sort of cemented a love of carousels in my little tiny child brain that has carried on until today. So if I get stupid money, um I would love to make something like that. But probably not a giant ceramic all sorts. I think that would perhaps broadcast too loudly that it was my house that you were going to. And at least with like a little Walmart carousel, that could live either indoors or it could live in my backyard. Or it could live in my garage that I don't use and is just full of sawdust and broken furniture. Snack 28 with real food. Listen, people keep joking about Snack 28 with real food. People keep saying, "Oh, I want to make a fully edible one," or "Oh, this would be great. I could make gingerbread houses for this." And I'm like, "Fucking do it. I want to see it." I'm not a great baker myself, unfortunately. I wish that I was. I enjoy eating a baked good. I'm not the best at making them. Anything really that involves any degree of math and measuring just sort of doesn't end up working out the way that I want. I enter into things with the best intentions, but they do frequently go astray in ways that I have not expected them to do, and frankly do not know what to do when they go wrong or how to fix them. So I would say I'm a great buyer of baked goods, but not always a great maker of them. I can do occasional stuff. I make gingerbread at the holiday times. I've made I've made little things with store-bought puff pastry before. I've baked a cake. It's never anything elaborate, but it does happen on occasion. I've made Rice Krispie treats. Those are the bomb. Love those. And like the rainbow ones that you can get or make if you use fruity pebbles are good too. I don't know. Should we go chocolate or peppermint for his antlers? I'm not sure that we're gonna make his hat into a little cupcake. That much I do know. And then I'm not sure how to do his hands. Whether I should do them like the same pale white, because this is like an off-white, but we're gonna highlight it up. I think actually maybe we'll do like like a strawberry sort of pink, and we'll see how that goes. I think that could look good. We can maybe plan a snack around Christmas this year. You have been known. I do have those. I got really tiny cookie cutters from Daiso that would make for good little snack guys. Like they would be perhaps not the most appropriate scale, but they'd be closer than anything else that I have. Hello, Cyber Shorty. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you could finally catch a stream too. Glad to have you. We're just painting up this fantastic little neighbor guy. When I told Trent that I had bought his miniature, he said, and this is probably a thing that he says to everybody because he's a nice and polite fellow. But he was like, I'm always most excited to see how you paint up my little guys that I make. I don't think he used the phrase little guys, but I can't remember exactly what he said. But that was very kind. And definitely uh made me want to paint up this neighbor. I do also have the collab with Miscast and Whittle Goblin. I have that one to paint. So I'm excited about that too. But I tend to just base coat stuff on stream because painting freehand is hard on stream. I'm not very good at keeping things in focus, and when I paint just for myself, I hunch up and have it like very very closely held to my face, and I don't particularly enjoy showing my face on camera. So I'm hiding. Um and you just get this little fun little goblin guy to talk to. That's basically me. I have been thinking about getting one made, but having it be all sorts from Snack 28. But I don't know if my friend who took the commission for this little goblin is still doing that kind of thing. So I haven't inquired about pricing or availability or anything like that, but I should. I just have had other expenses recently and it hasn't been a priority, but I think it would be cute. You guys might hate it if it changed though, I'm not sure. Maybe we just like what we already have. Oreo stack monster. That's pretty good. Oh, cool. I'm glad you're excited to paint yours too. They're great models. Listen, I love anything that is Dark Souls inspired. We do have a Elden Ring inspired monster in in the Snack 28 expansion coming out on May 9th. Uh so there's that. I did try and keep my extreme love of Bloodborne from any and all influence on the designs. But a while back we held a Snack 28 monster making contest where the prize would be a gift card to Ramshackle Games, which we supplied, which was great. Um, and then also having your monster with stats and put into the Snack 28 world for people to fight against. So that was really fun. Um, I took forever to actually complete the stats and stuff like that just because life and everything. But it is done, and Kira Creations won with this incredible apple pie uh fire golem. It's great. I fucking love it so much. Um Truly one of the things that I never would have expected to come out of Snack 28. And I couldn't be more delighted that it exists. It is so badass and so cool. And definitely made me think about trying to candy coat other other Dark Souls and Elden Ring and Bloodborne bosses for the expanded edition. That didn't end up happening, but the thought was there. I really like this pink. I think it's such a fun color. I might do a little like border on the bottom of the jacket in this. I think that might be cute. We'll see. We've got a good base going for him. I'm happy with how he's turning out so far. I need to pick what color I'm gonna do the little cupcake wrapper because I'll fill this with fake whipped cream and put a fake cherry on top so it'll look like a cupcake. I've done it before with the big what's it called? The fucking I don't know the name of this model actually. Hang on, let me grab it. We've done it before with this guy, who's awesome. I should have created Snack 28 rules for him, because he fucking kicks ass. And I still have a giant version of him that I need to paint. I love him so much. He's so goopy. Oh, he's so good. Man, my freehand's gotten better since I painted this guy. But he's cute. I love him. And they can be best friends. And they can kiss. That's an important thing, you know, when you can make your models kiss. It looks like we did pink and yellow for his little crown, which would suit here as well, I think. If we did that paler pink with yellow stripes. That could be cute. And then they like go together. Maybe the neighbor is this guy's boss. That could be funny. We could all be fans of that. Blood Gut Knuckle Dragger, thank you. Oh man. I don't know that the next Snack 28 expansion would have mechs. Mostly, and I'll be real here, is because I do all of the art for Snack 28. And let me tell you, if there's a thing high on my list of shit I don't want to draw, it's mechs. I'm not good at it, and I don't want to practice. And while Snack 28 is sort of nebulous, I should say, in terms of setting, like I've certainly have so many of these and they're dried out. I keep not throwing them away, but I need to. Snack 28 is very nebulous in terms of setting, because I wanted people to feel like they weren't constrained. And that was sort of the initial worry with the first one, was that if I started putting too many place names and set too much of like a idea or time period or something like that, then people wouldn't feel like they could just create whatever they wanted. But the thing is, Snack is so fucking wild and out of the box anyway that people were really excited to have some, I guess, direction when I started introducing the little factions and the little map. That was a delight and not a like, oh man, my idea for where my guys come from is totally invalidated now. And it's all vaguely, and this is me, not a scholar, just a person. It's vaguely medieval in setting. Like the time period is very, mechs have not been invented yet in my mind, but I also would love stats for a candy mech, especially if that meant that I could somehow use my Imperial Knights in Snack 28. That would be cool. I'm not smart enough to write that though. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to account for their larger base size. I spent all of my rules writing brain, which wasn't very strong to begin with, creating the snack that we do have. So that's where we're at with it. But there are smarter and more talented people than me in this world, and I'm lucky enough to be friends with some of them. So there have been some inquiries made in terms of where to go with any other snack content that I might make in the future. I can't really say more than that because there's nothing definitive. No contracts have been signed, no money's been exchanged. It's all just talking right now. But I don't think this is the last you'll see of Snack. I think this is definitely the quote unquote like core rules, and they're not going to change anytime soon. But a narrative snack, that could be pretty fun someday. That could be pretty cool if it happened. There's like a little Little gem on his forehead. We'll paint that pink too. Yeah, he's a little cutie. And then I think what I'll end up doing, just to make this read more like candy, is I'll paint some icing and some sprinkles all on the back of his coat here. But for now, he's base coated. And that's probably all that I'll do for him on stream, because I need the focus of having like a better hand-eye control, better like not worrying about what you guys are yapping about. Yeah, make your own zine. Absolutely. If people want to make Snack 28 fan content, like please reach out to me. I would love that. That would make me so happy. Um that would be sick. My caveat is if you make Snack 28 fan content, I get to have a copy. That's it. That's all I want. Um The Lord of the Onion Rings, a totally original concept. I'm not checking my Discord DMs right now because I'm in the middle of streaming. I will check them later. Because I can't check them at this moment in time. Also, a lot of the time people want to collab and they're like, "Yeah, I'm super down. I'd love to make something. Do you want to write rules for it?" And the thing is, I think because by some miracle, the rules of Snack 28 came out very good and playable. And actually this happened with a lovely person in the Quar Discord server who was like, "Man, you must be so into like the crunch of writing rules and optimizing shit and things like that." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You actually couldn't be further off from the truth. Rules writing was a bit like pulling teeth for me in that I had to do it to make the thing work, but that was my least favorite part of the process. I truly just wanted to come up with dumb ideas and then ideally hand them off to somebody else who would make them work. Um, but in the end, I think I was understandably the one who best understood what I wanted for Snack 28 to be, and the level of simplicity that I wanted it to have, which really necessitated me writing most of the rules, and people would come up with cool and fun abilities and I would be like, "That's really awesome, but that is too fucking complicated for what we're cooking here." And that was always really difficult to say cuz I'm not the best at communicating my ideas in spoken word. I stumble around quite a lot. I'm working on getting better at it and building up more confidence, but it's hard. It's a struggle. Um so yeah, the any collaborations that are like, "Oh yeah, and you can write the rules for this part." I'm like, "Ooh, I can maybe try, but I don't know how well that'll turn out in the end because I will do a lot of things to avoid writing rules, and that doesn't necessarily lead to the best collaboration opportunities. I just have to wait for that spark of inspiration to hit where I'm suddenly like, "All right, I'm gonna fucking do it today. I'm gonna write the rules." And it happens. I also frankly played so much Snack 28 when I was demoing it at 2025's Adepticon that I got super burnout on my own game, which definitely delayed me wanting to write rules or play practice games for the expansion. So that is something that I have to keep in mind as well. Hello, Robo Crash. Welcome in. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. I don't think I've asked. We're an hour into stream, and I haven't asked a single person what's on their painting desk, or what their hobby project currently is. Um, I finished base coating this incredible miniature from Miscast. This neighbor guy. And before I go through and do the complex stuff like highlighting and freehand and shit like that, for stream I've just switched over to base coating another miniature. I have so many of these little all sortses to paint, so we're going with that. That's because I was drained dueling with brushes. I was very drained after those demos. I didn't have a brain left, and I pushed way too hard, and I did too many of them. And I don't like regret it in that I'm very proud of what I did, and that so many people got to try out Snack 28. But I definitely realized that demoing my game for a full day was not the way to do it. Um, so figuring out a better way to run demos in the future, or finding people who would be willing to demo it on my behalf may be the way to go. 'Cause I love my game. I do. It's incredible and I'm so proud of it. But am I a gamer? I don't know. I don't know if I could confidently say yes to that. Um, I certainly like making the little guys and the art more than I ever will playing the game, even if the game is very good. Uh, which is a funny thing to admit, but it is the truth. And that's okay. I think a lot of people who write their games aren't necessarily the best at playing them. I I lose most of the games of Snack 28 that I play. So like I'm not out here saying I'm a world champion or anything like that. I just wrote the game. Other people can be good at playing it. That's their job. That's not mine. My job was make little guy. And I got an A plus at the little guy factory. I really would love Snack 28 to have a booth at Adepticon someday. And that inevitably means that I would have to demo for the people again, or I would have to find people to demo for me. Oh, you have some Relic Blade minis. Sick. Which Relic Blade guys do you have? I picked up a Relic Blade guy this year. I try to always pick up something from Relic Blade just to support uh Sean Sutter, and by proxy Malev, because Malev does all of the painting as far as I'm aware. Um so even though I don't play Relic Blade very much, I have quite a few Relic Blade miniatures. I have a lot of the like crabs and fish guys. And then this year I picked up a pig. I got the hellboar. And I might not even end up painting that miniature myself. I might end up trading him or giving him away or something like that. But I truly do just want to support the Relic Blade uh company more and more. It's very exciting that they got their first plastic kits. That's really cool. They looked like really nice kits. I think they were sold out by the time I got there. So I didn't end up buying any, but they looked really sick. You should submit your silly kit batches into Golden Demon. I'm so pleased you remembered the night. Uh I was I was shocked by how many people were sad that I didn't enter something in Golden Demon this year. Um I I got disqualified last year, so I was too busy working on Snack to fuss over a Golden Demon entry this year. But it seems the people are in fact disappointed that there was not a night made of ice cream in the case for however brief a time this year. Which kind of makes me want to do it for next year. Um, but I'm not sure whether he will be allowed to stay or if he will be swiftly removed. And that is unfortunate. It's hard to want to work so hard on something that you hope to display and then to not be sure if you will get the chance to display it for more than a matter of hours. So, um, yeah, I'll have to see. They did make a new knight chassis. It's I think that's how you say it. So that'll be at least worth investigating because I'll probably want to paint that. Knights are expensive though. That is also the thing. Um, you can't just sort of pick one up used for $40. They're always at least $100 and usually more than that. So that's sucky. I wish they were cheaper kits, but they do make quite the spectacle. I don't know why they disqualified it. That's the question I get asked. I'm like, you know what? Go ask Golden Demon because they didn't fucking tell me. I don't know. It wasn't gonna win. I'm not under that delusion. I'll tell you what though. I'll tell you one thing for damn sure. If I get a booth for Snack 28, I'm gonna bring the knights and I'll put them in the booth because people really, really liked looking at those. And I don't know if that will translate into sales of Snack 28 or not, but it'll translate into people stopping and looking at stuff. And that's something. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm sure GW has their stipulations for things. Um, but I don't quite know what they are, and the guidelines that they've established are not clear enough for me to understand what I can and cannot do. So, like there is a theory that it was just, oh, well, they were holding a Dairy Queen spoon and they can't do that. So if that's the issue, then bam, I'll just fucking rip that spoon off there and put it in the case. So that might be what I try next year. Is just don't have the spoon. Uh, but I don't know. They they had let it be displayed for the entirety of the competition before in Schaumburg, uh, and then didn't. But that's a mystery that, frankly, I was too tired to care about or be angry about last year. And I still kind of don't care. Like, it's fine. It's not bumming me out as much as it would have in other years. Like, if that was my first time ever competing, I would have been huge disappointed. That would have really hit. Um but fortunately it did not happen that time, so I was not super discouraged and continued to embrace my weird little painting style. Aw, thank you, Robo Crash. You know, I am planning to go to Warhammer World later this year. So that's not a bad idea. I'll have to see if they have plastic spoons at Pugman's and see if I can take one of theirs. It's fine. Like, I really honestly, people are way more angry about it than I am. It's their painting competition. They are allowed to do what they want there. It has made me consider just entering other painting competitions. Like, there's the Monument Hobbies competition, um, which I think you can still enter Games Workshop models in. And there is the Resin Beast one as well. I don't think I stand any chance of winning any of those. But the Ice Cream Nights did what I wanted them to do, which was just to show people that you don't have to be so damn serious about things. In terms of like aesthetic choices. But I am serious about this being the way I paint. Like, a couple people have asked me if I painted them as a joke, and I haven't. Like, I'm very sincere in that's how I just want to paint them. They're they're not a joke. They're just not grimdark. Um and I think that was a harder thing to communicate when I first entered as to now. Certainly having a game where I'm like, yeah, no, this is just fully the thing that it is has helped communicate that in some way. Um I haven't been asked so much if that's a joke or if I think it's funny. Uh so that's nice. I just like making little guys and I want to make stuff cute. And that truly is not a crime. Yeah, but hopefully one year Snack 28's in a booth and I will, if that happens, I'll bring the ice cream nights and people can look at them and I don't know if I'll sell them. I probably won't. But if Snack 28 sells really poorly, I could always just be like, "Yep, let's take some offers and see if we can recoup our losses." But that doesn't seem likely. Snack 28's done really well wherever I've been able to put it out into the world. Um, so I'm gaining confidence about it. And I want to take more chances with it and see where it goes. We need a whimsy team in competition. Why's it gotta be a plastic spoon? Because I'm not confident that I can drill and pin a real metal spoon to the miniature. Uh, I don't think super glue will hold, and I'm not great at the whole kit bash and construction portion of the hobby. So, plastic worked because it was light enough to function. Anything more complicated than that, I have my doubts about. Someone put a couple Warhammer scale dwarves in the case this year. Oh, cool. Yeah, if an indie collective booth happens, that's pretty cool. The thing is more, I think, um getting your booth accepted by the con than any prohibitive fees. Like the fees are annoying, don't get me wrong, but considering what I acquired from Snack 28 sales this year, uh it would have been fine. Especially if I had been able to stock more things because I knew I would have the space and time for it. So that's not too much of a concern. But I don't have like a sales display set up or anything like that because I've not done this before. And maybe if I was smart, I would choose a smaller venue to debut this at. But my caveat there is that essentially there would be no Snack 28 without Adepticon, and everything that I've gotten out of Adepticon and how much inspiration the community there has made me feel. The nice things that have been said about my miniatures. Um, the lovely and encouraging friends that I have made, the way that people were desperately trying to buy the rules to Snack 28 from me in 2025 when I had not brought any to sell, just to give away to influencers that I was friends with, in the hopes that maybe they would mention it or talk about it. Um, because I could not afford paid publicity. And that's sometimes just what you do. Is you're like, well, I could maybe convince someone to show this on screen for a couple of seconds. And the thing is, like, that feels shitty, but I'm actually friends with these people, and your friends do just genuinely want to support the projects that you do and shit like that. But I wasn't expecting people who played demos to immediately want to buy a copy, or people in the Grimdark Hall who had heard about it asking if I had copies on hand or anything like that. So that was a big surprise. Um, but yeah, uh, Adepticon's really the place where I feel like Snack 28, it was the idea of it was deemed verifiable and where I gained most of my hobby confidence. So I I don't think there's another place that I would want to take it to and try and sell it at for a first go. It's the natural spot for it to be. And maybe I will have to write a very convincing little letter expressing that to the good folks of Adepticon. Um, and that'll be the most that I can do. And they'll either say yes or no based on that, but it's worth trying, I think. I mean, Orc the Brand got a booth and hell knows how that happened. Why shouldn't I give it a go? Hopefully it'll work out. I could try setting up at Fractured Realms Fest. That's true. That's true. I don't know how that will go. Fractured Realms Fest is an untested market, an untested convention. I think it'll go great. I think it will heavily focus on the grim dark, however. Do I think someone would split a booth? There have been talks of that. I have followed up with a couple of leads that I've had. So, we're trying our best to see what can be arranged. It's unfortunately like the big concern right now is that it's so far out that people don't know exactly what their plan is going to be. So, right now, nothing's set in stone, but we have a couple of good leads. Things look up, which is good and nice. We're certainly not down for the count. But the ideal way to do it would be for Snack 28 to have its own little booth. Um, just so that I could bring all the stuff that I want. I could make it look the way that I want, cuz in my brain I have a vision and I know a couple of people who could help with it. I could have the giant all sorts there because if I'm sharing booth space with another person, having a giant statue is maybe going to take up valuable room that I should use on other things. So it's like all those kind of space concerns. If I do bring the ice cream nights along, then having a spot to put them again in a booth where you can't purchase them, you can only look at them is something. So all of these things they have to live in my brain as thoughts and things to figure out. Oh, Tyler bought the booth from Jeremy who had it for Idols of Torment. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But these are just, they're things. They may happen, they may not, but I'm going to try a little bit harder and we'll see where we go. I have something worth putting in effort for at least. And that feels nice. We've got another cute little all sorts nearly painted up. He'll need highlighting and a couple things will need another base coat, but he's looking good. We're fucking accomplishing shit on this stream. Hell yeah. Proud of everybody here. I never get tired of how cute these look when they're painted up. I think I've tried all sorts in just about every color scheme I personally can think of. And he looks good every time. I'm always happy to see it. It does sometimes make me question whether or not I chose the correct color scheme for him. But then I compare the one that I have the giant ones to all the little guys and I'm like, yeah, that's still the right choice. I still made the right call. And that's a good feeling too. There are perhaps other Snack 28 characters that will one day eclipse all sorts in popularity. They will become the ones that people love the most. It may have already happened. People may love the Bat on the Worm more than they love All Sorts. But All Sorts is my personal favorite. So he gets to be the mascot. And that'll forever be a Fiverr decision from the heart instead of a practical business decision from the brain. He's the little guy I love the most, so he gets to win. That's how it works. I didn't mean to spend this entire stream just talking about my game. I'm very sorry. It sounds like this has just been a huge self-promo at this point, which is not what I intended. But it's I guess it's where my brain is at. The only other things I've done this weekend is I did some sewing, working on quilts. Uh and I watched a production of Julius Caesar, like Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, because my friend wanted to check it out. And I had a good time. I've never really been much of a Shakespeare person to begin with, but I think that's mostly because I'd only ever studied plays in English class with people trying to poorly read out loud words they didn't understand. And everything had to be analyzed to death and back, um, without really understanding what the point of it was. Seeing things as a play, much more comprehensible. Much better to sit and experience and enjoy than the English class version. So that's good. Mascots should never be practical. Hell yeah. That's damn true. I do love a mascot character though. I do love them. You'll catch me buying stuff with a cute mascot on it just because it's got a cute mascot on it. Um I'm not above it. The marketing works. If your little guy is cute enough, I will love him and I will have to own a million things with his face on it. Looking at you, Chikawa. I can't get enough fucking Chikawa stuff in my house. It's a problem. It's a problem. I love all the Sanrio characters. Not all of the Sanrio characters, that's a lie. I love many of the Sanrio characters. And I did used to want those kid cuisine frozen dinners because the penguin on them was cute as a child. They're awful. They never tasted good, but I still wanted them because they put a cute penguin on the box. Trying to think what other child mascots really got. Oh, I did like all of the monster cereal ones. Like Frankenberry and Count Chocula and stuff like that. They were food. Probably. I remember them fondly. They were very much like, your grandpa has to watch you, so he doesn't know how to cook. You can pick what you want from the grocery store for dinner. That was very often kid cuisine. Probably also Lunchables too, which I don't have as fond memories of as other people. I did not want them as often as a kid. I think there was one that I did like, which is like wild that they would sell it as like a breakfast kit, cuz it was just cinnamon rolls. Like that was it. Shit had no nutritional value whatsoever. No wonder I wanted that one. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I've always had a sweet tooth. That has not changed. It's still there. I wish I had a cinnamon roll right the fuck now. I need I need Cameron to hyperfixate on making baked goods again so I can have them. So I can steal them and eat them. or I can make them myself. But again, we've discussed it won't turn out the best. I'm just not I'm not a great baker. But maybe I should try making cinnamon rolls. I do like them. You remember the goopy brownie? Hell yeah. Public school did serve cinnamon rolls for brekkie. That's true. That's true. Sugar candy? A sweet tooth? Yeah. Yeah, I may have one of those. Many people are saying this. Oh man, I'm just really happy with how he's come along. He's so cute. I need to paint the little stripes and stuff like that, but I'll save that for when I'm not on stream. That one turned out pretty cute. Very, very marshmallowy in my opinion. Okay. What am I gonna do for this one? I think his face needs another coat of this strawberry pink, so we'll take care of that. We'll probably be ending stream soon anyway, because I have gotten a decent amount accomplished, and I am happy with where we are with the miniature that we started today. And I'll do all of the freehand for it in the next few days, because that is it's been working out. I've been hobbying more consistently, and I've been trying to remember to stream as well. I've really gotten the motivation for it back after Adepticon, which is what I was hoping would happen. I really forgot how much I just enjoy painting. I'd been focused on my sewing projects for a while, which is good. I like them too. But I certainly was doing that pretty much exclusively as my hobby. And finding a balance between the two is going to be nice. I think that's going to um end up working out in my favor. I don't know if I want to keep the little heart on this one the same pink as his flesh. That might be a little weird. So we might change the flavor of this little candy heart. I think we'll end up doing that. Yeah, because I think that was what was not working, is that his gloves and his heart are the same color as his face. So I'll need to change those, but I'll make those changes later. I think what we can maybe do before we finish up stream is we can finish this model. This guy just needs some basing added, so we can take care of that. Adepticon is always great for hobby motivation. Yeah, you're exactly right. Hell yeah, you painted 4 minis from start to finish since you got back? That's awesome. Fuck yeah, dude. That's great to hear. Let's see, what have I finished since I've been back from Adepticon? I finished the werewolf. I finished another one of these dinosaurs. I'm about to finish the other dinosaur. I finished up the pie golem monster that was sitting on my desk for ages. And I'm pretty close to finishing this guy as well. Finished any other little guys? We finished a little guy, didn't we? Oh, I feel like we did, but I don't remember. No, we didn't. We haven't finished up another little guy yet. But we're close. Oh no, we did. I finished this all sorts. He just needs his basing. And then I mean that guy's practically done. So we've got some stuff that is coming along. It's more painting than I've done in ages. And actually like being able to put the basing on something, to finish it, to get it off the hobby desk and onto the display shelf. I really need to get another display cabinet. I'm running out of room. But that's all been good. It's a good feeling to complete something. Especially something that's like sat around waiting to be completed. So I'm just gonna keep chasing that and seeing how much I can get done. Cause I have a box off to the side of all the stuff that I bought at Adepticon, and I want to see if I can get everything that I purchased at Adepticon fully painted before the next Adepticon. I don't know if it'll happen, and I'm not gonna like beat myself up if it doesn't. But everything either painted or if there was like a friend that I had gotten it to give it to, given to that friend before, like it has to be out of my hobby space before next Adepticon. We've got a lot. I won't lie to you. If I were like more of a gamer, I should include that I should try and at least get one game in for all of the games that I purchased at Adepticon. But I don't know when I'll be playing any of them. I didn't buy a lot, but I did get Wanted Reward, Tanner Simpson's game. And I don't know how that plays at all. I briefly saw him demo it, like for a couple of seconds. I was in the room. But I do like the art, so I might at least read through the book and see what's going on there. I'm not sure. I'll take my time. I won't do anything that isn't fun. And painting miniatures is so much fun. I'm having a great time. Look at that. We got the frosting on the base. Beautiful. Got a paper towel over here. Fantastic. And then we'll just add some sprinkles. And he'll be done. Let's see here. Preview Orc Boy, a Turnip 28 test mini that's sat for months. Slade Steam Tank and Sir Troll Tank is drying. Hell yeah. Do I want to try a test game 11? The 11th already happened. Do you mean the 11th of next month? I'm gonna paint up your primed orcs before Armageddon drops? Hell yeah. I need to, I need to finish painting my pig too, Cameron. He's here. He's a work in progress. I haven't finished him. But he's close to finished. Needs highlighting. So many of the things on my desk just need highlighting at this point, which is good. That's a good space for them to be. I'll be really happy when this little squadron of all sorts is done. Cause I'm very excited to do the basing and have them all like have little frosting bases in their little tray. I think they'll be really cute. They'll look good all ranked up. Yeah, okay, there we go. There. And then we finished something as well on stream, which is fun. I have the Quar are gonna be the real Oh, wanna try a test game of 11th edition? No. No, I do not want to play 11th edition. I don't. I'm sorry. I have no desire to play Warhammer. It's too fucking complicated. It takes too much time. There's too many rules and there's too much math, and I don't like the strength toughness tables. I hate them. I don't care. If I hit you, I should be able to wound you. Like that's bullshit, dog. I've identified all of the things that I don't like after having played Warhammer before. And I think there are just games that don't have those things that I can play those games and enjoy them. I should really play Age of Sigmar Spearhead. You love Spearhead. I don't know if GW games are for me. I tend to just zone out because the rules don't stick in my brain. I would give Spearhead a chance with you, Cameron, because you have helped with Snack innumerably. I don't think that's the right word. But you've helped a lot, so I mean, I'll play games with you at least once as a treat. But I don't think I'll end up liking Spearhead the way that you do. You're literally getting ready to go play Spearhead. Go play Spearhead. Yeah, it has been. Damn. That was a while ago. I don't remember what Necropolis is, but I know all the indie kids talk about it. You should send me information about it. Cause I don't remember. I know it's cool though. The cool kids are playing Necropolis. Okay, that's I'm showing that I clean up my hobby space as well. Cause that way I'll remember to do it. And that's also cool and good for keeping the space organized and keeping me motivated to paint things. We have our little test quar, and the more I look at them, the less I like them, so something needs to change there. Possibly just highlights, I don't know. But I can put this guy away. He can go up on the snack shelf. The shelf of completed snacks. Ugh. Beautiful. We love to see it. Oh, I need so much more room than I have. Excellent. I really need to put this guy on a base. All right. Everything is back to where it should be. Everything is neat and organized, so I'll be ready for my next painting session. That's all the hobby that we're gonna do today. I really appreciate you guys having been here, having stuck with me, having chatted with me. I had a really good time. I like what we chose to paint. I think we made a really good start. And we'll see how things go next time. Maybe Bottle will be our champ next time. He'll go up against other miniatures that I have primed. And I'm needing to paint, so we'll see how he does. All right. Well, anyway, everybody be good to each other. Don't use AI art. It sucks. And I'll catch you in the next stream. Bye-bye.